laughing as usual. She is the chief of staff for this Georgia Tech program, and here we go. Kubai gonna jump it up against Kaye White, and Lottinen with the ball in her hands has struggled with her shooting so far this season, but Tech starting out 4-0 this year. And right away they go into Kubai, and you can see right off the bat, boy, the difference in height. White discernibly shorter, and they get the second chance. They called her Diggy. Digma Stratmana, one of the Syracuse transfers.
Diggy getting jiggy with it already on the glass. Huge for Georgia Tech. They know they need to win the rebounding battle here this afternoon.
And Stratmana getting her first start of the season for Georgia Tech, who lost Loyal McQueen. She has entered the transfer portal. And then that's what Auburn needs to do. We talked about her in the open. It's Honesty Scott Grayson.
Well, finally, someone listened to me. But it's important for Auburn to knock down the outside shots to pull the bigs of Georgia Tech out of the paint.
Scott Grayson coming off a season-high 21 in their victory over Alabama State. That's good for Lottinen. She's struggled particularly with shots from the outside.
Well, Nell Fortner's told the team today, when you get pressured, put your head down and go to the rim because the help side won't be there. Great job by Lottinen.
Lottinen, the senior from Helsinki, Finland. Number 2, Sanaya Wells for Auburn, so important, their point guard. She is going to play a lot of minutes for Johnny Harris. So it's important she keeps out of foul trouble. Shot clock at 5, and it's banked in by Coulibaly, a player that you like.
I think she's so athletic, and I think she has a great upside. Eager to see how Johnny Harris continues to evolve her offensive game this season.
And Stratmana just off the rim. Seeing her attack the rim a lot more at Georgia Tech. At Syracuse, a lot of times she kind of just roamed around the three-point line and waited for someone to pass it to her.
Well, we asked Nell Fortner, is her role different offensively? And the biggest smile came across Nell's face because you can just see how much she's impacting this Georgia Tech offense already this season.
Absolutely huge, getting her as a transfer. Stratmana that time got a piece of the shooter, Scott Grayson.
Pam, one thing we're already seeing from Auburn, a lot of set plays in the half court, lots of screens, trying to utilize their speed advantage to create open looks against the much taller Georgia Tech team.
And now Johnny Harris told us at shoot-around today that she and Sanaya Wells go over film a lot. They had a nice long film session yesterday. Scott Grayson at the free throw line, and she is a transfer from Baylor, played there one season, only averaged about 7 minutes per game. For Kim Mulkey, who has moved on to LSU. She gets 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. Stratmana, who was called for the foul, has been replaced by Aaliyah Love.
When Aaliyah Love has started the majority, or the first 3 games this season, had a little knee injury in the last game against ETSU, but obviously ready to go today.
Yeah, just a little banged up.
Well, Auburn's going to try to be feisty and disruptive on defense. Sanaya Wells goes over the top of that screen, and Hermosa gets called for the illegal there.
Check that. That foul actually was on Lottinen, not on Hermosa. And the ball comes right back. Sanaya Wells, just 1 start last year as a combo guard. Now Lottinen bringing the ball up. First team All-ACC last year and most improved player. And boy, we've had some contact early on. That's on Wells.
And that time, Wells just got into the screener and unfortunately gets called for the foul. And Pam, I think something to watch throughout this game is the wear and tear mentally of this Auburn defense against Lottinen. This is the first time this season they're truly facing this kind of high pressure in-your-face defense.
Scott Grayson tried to draw the charge. Instead, it gave a free path to Love to the basket.
Love is so improved this season, just especially on the offensive end. You can just tell she's a new player. Put the work in this summer, and it's just has such a high ceiling. Nell Fortner says she is explosive, she is long. We can play her at the 3 or the 4. Just, again, another big that Georgia Tech can put on the floor.
Just a sophomore. Oh, gosh, Wells Might have gotten away with using her left arm, extended that a little bit, but Sanaya is able to hit the basket. Now another whistle. Denise Brooks, Edward Sidlaski, Mark Resch, our officials this afternoon. Kaye White, fifth-year senior, called for the foul, and there she is again. Love kept it alive. Hermosa ultimately able to get it out towards Bates.
Well, I think Georgia Tech's going to have a lot of those weak side step-ins as we just saw. The key is, can they convert those high percentage looks this afternoon?
Hermosa taking it right to the basket, and that's another example, right? Good luck, but could not get it to go down.
And I think Auburn will take that shot. Hermosa off the bounce or from the outside versus posting up down low.
Koulibaly getting inside the paint.
Well, you're seeing the adverse skill sets right now. The speed and explosiveness of Auburn versus the length of Georgia Tech.
Boy, Lottman bottled up on the sideline in trouble. And boy, they've drawn another one. Scott Grayson has drawn another charging foul. And that one goes against Love.
Well, Johnny Harris came in looking to change the culture, and it starts with the defense for her. There, honestly, Scott Grayson moving her feet, and I think Love more so drops the shoulder than it truly being, honestly, Scott Grayson getting set.
Auburn has not missed a field goal in this game. They are 4 for 4. Coming in, hitting just 33% on the season. Losses to Georgia Southern and Old Dominion before breaking a 17-game losing streak against Alabama State in their last game. Wells showing her quickness.
And Pam, what I see is patience by Auburn in the early games this season. Just were so sped up, looking to score. Now they're looking to get good shots. And the other big thing to this point in the game, only one turnover. They came in tonight averaging 19 a game.
Bates. Nothing doing. And another foul. Wells got creamed by Kubai.
Great patience by Auburn. Sanaya Wells, with the shot clock going down, just splits the defense, and great touch at the rim off the glass.
Yeah, Sanaya Wells' first couple of years on the Plains was a 2-guard and now running the point. And Johnny Harris says that she's adjusting to it well and embracing it. And look what the Tigers are doing. It's an 8-0 Auburn run.
Well, the rotation's not there right now for Georgia Tech off the dribble penetration of Auburn.
Auburn up by 8. Lottman. Oh, beautiful ball fake, but couldn't finish. They've missed a lot of shots in the paint. Oh boy, and with 6 seconds left on the shot clock, a foul, up and down action. Finally a break. Boy, Auburn has not missed a shot.
Well, when you're getting high percentage looks in the paint, you should make them. Kaya White puts her hands to the ball, off the glass. Auburn up 8.
Welcome back. Auburn on an 8-0 run to take an 8-point lead, but big development as right before that break, Sanaya Wells picked up her second personal foul, so enter freshman point guard Marshawn Bostic.
I always believe when you're on the road, the most important player is your point guard. So especially for Johnny Harris, new team, new culture, to lose one of your better defenders and your starting point guard is huge. And to this point in the season for Bostic, she's averaging 11 minutes a game. The problem's been turnovers. She's averaging 3 turnovers in those 11 minutes a game. So something to watch here the rest of this half.
And that is Marshawn Bostic, the freshman from the state of Missouri, signed with the former coaching staff and staying on. But boy, Georgia Tech continuing to attack the paint, but really unable to do a lot of damage in there. They're now 3 of 10 from the floor. They've missed 6 of their last 7 shots.
And if you're Nell Fortner, you're happy with the shot selection. The key right now is to be going so fast to get by the quickness of Auburn, but then getting under control as you make that release.
And that was the point that we were looking at when you talked about it in the open. You have the quickness of Auburn, and so far they are winning out Hughes, wow, goodness. Annie Hughes with a nice degree of difficulty.
When Annie Hughes came into this season known as a spot-up three-point shooter, her offensive game has evolved, as we just saw.
And as you see, coming into the season, the numbers not good for Auburn, but perfect from the floor so far, and they've only turned it over once. Oh, great showing.
At this rate, Johnny Harris might want to start playing all her games here at McCamish.
This is by far their toughest test so far, and they are acing it. Finally, they miss a shot. That was Coulibaly. That's the first miss for them after they hit their first 7 from the floor. Working on a 10-0 run. And Lottman being guarded by the freshman point guard Bostic, and another giveaway. Boy, Tech can't hold on to it.
Well, great defense by Ansel Scott-Grayson, because she didn't see the pass coming, but she read the player she was guarding and knew to get her hand out. Auburn just being so deliberate on offense right now, waiting for Georgia Tech to make a mistake so they can take advantage.
Now missed 2 straight shots. Georgia Tech almost gone 5 minutes without a basket. And that is the second foul on Kaye White. Senior from Pennsylvania, tied a career high in scoring in her last game, and she's going to have to sit down. This Auburn team, a team in transition, to say the least. This is a club that did not win a single SEC game last year. Johnny Harris trying to rebuild things, not a very deep bench. And she's got a couple of starters on the bench with 2 fouls.
Not deep, not big, and so for any post player to get quick foul trouble, it doesn't bode well for Auburn.
Already have their point guard Wells on the bench. That last foul was on Hughes, her first. And here's a look, our first, at Elisabetta Bulana, who is a freshman from Latvia. And that is where Stratmana is from, and Nell Fortner says that it's been great that Stratmana has been able to help her with the language and also just the transition into the United States.
Well, it's hard enough to be a freshman in college, much less a freshman athlete. Another unforced turnover for Georgia Tech.
Yeah, we talked about Kubai's passing ability. There's Diggy, can we call her that? Why not?
I give you permission, Pam.
Okay. Stratmana on the bench, and Kubai. This is a player who wears not just her heart on her sleeve, but maybe every other component that you can see. Rather emotional, upset with that last turnover. No doubt upset that her team's down 10.
When Georgia Tech going to the 2-3 matchup zone in the half court, trying to contain the dribble penetration of Auburn.
Shot clock again into single digits. Good defense by Kubai to get in front of Scott-Grayson.
And that's definitely a possession where the length of Georgia Tech affected the Auburn offense.
Kubai finally, oh goodness. Reverse is not the easiest of things, but she'll tell you she should have hit that. That's a held ball. Possession arrow gives it to the Tigers.
Well, Pam, if you have height, you need to utilize it. To this point in the game, 3 of 8 on layups for Georgia Tech. That's got to change for them to get back in this game.
Kubai 0 for 2 so far. Only Love, Lottman, and Stratmana have scored for Georgia Tech. Scott-Grayson decides not to shoot because, boy, Hermosa was there with length. Shot clock, skinny again. Kubai, boy, that was a lot of contact, nothing called. Georgia Tech has missed its last 8 shots. Make it 9, holy. That was right there for Hermosa. Inside a minute to go in the first quarter. Auburn continuing to show patience. And Johnny Harris and her staff upset that nothing was called. That was Jayla Jordan who got the shot off.
Jordan did a great job of sealing the bottom of the forward for that pass. Again, it's that closeout link of Georgia Tech that got the block.
Yeah, boy, Jordan was calling for it. Bulana, the freshman, now handling the ball. Lotman over on the wing. Kubai pulled out way away from the basket. And another charge.
Auburn's defense is just frustrating Georgia Tech. Kubai really has nowhere to go, and great job by the Auburn defense to slide and take that charge.
Yeah, that was Jayla Jordan. Johnny Harris told us at shoot-around this morning that she wanted to get Georgia Tech and prevent them from running their pretty offense. And so far, I'd say they're doing that.
Well, you can't run a pretty offense if you can't make an entry pass, and that's what Auburn's doing extremely well so far.
Final seconds, can they get a shot off? Scott Grayson just, threw one up when she realized that the shot clock or the quarter clock was expiring, and she nailed it.
Just like Johnny Harris drew up, I'm sure. Of course it's going to go in. Everything has gone right for Auburn to this point in the game. And the officials are going to the monitor to review.
That's going to count. Auburn capping off the first quarter on a 13-0 run. Georgia Tech did not score for the last 6 minutes and 43 seconds of that quarter. Yep, Auburn up 13 after 1. Welcome back. That's a look of Bob Starkey. College basketball fans are well aware of his terrific resume, and he is the defensive guru, and so far what he has drawn up defensively is working.
Anyone who has followed Bob Starkey's career is not surprised by what they're seeing out of Auburn today. The staff calls him the GOAT. I call him the defensive GOAT because he knows how to find a weakness in an opponent and just pick at it. And right now, what that is going at the perimeter game of Georgia Tech, keeping them away from the three-point line and speeding them up to where they can't get into the pretty offense, as head coach Johnny Harris calls it.
And Georgia Tech just 3 of 12 in that first half. Only hit one of their last 10, and that's not a good thing when Kubai is on the bench. Kubai on the bench with no points and 2 fouls. She is their leading scorer, or second leading scorer this year, pardon me, behind Hermosa, but averaging a double-double. Just trying to figure things out. Lotman back in to run the point. That's a chancy pass, and good defense. Jayla Jordan off the bench has done some things.
Well, Jayla Jordan is not going to back down. There gets beat on the pass, but stays in pursuit, times the shot release, and gets the block.
Jordan, a redshirt junior from Philadelphia, another Tech turnover, and Auburn converts it into a couple of points. Bostic, the freshman point guard, showing her speed getting down there for the assist.
Well, Auburn came into today averaging 57 points a game. How do you get easy scoring? With your defense, as Bostic picks the pocket again.
Stroutman able to get in there and pick it up, but Georgia Tech really having trouble holding on to the basketball. They have 8 turnovers that have accounted for a third of Auburn's points, and here we go again.
Pam, to this point in the season, the Horns' action for Georgia Tech has been a go-to. They've been able to really utilize their post connection, and that time, yet again, they can't even get into the play set.
That shot by Koulibaly missed everything, but it stays with Auburn.
Well, Pam, hustle makes up for a lot. Honestly, Scott Grayson there just pursuing that loose ball, knocking it off for Georgia Tech. defender.
Boy, great hustle, just kept her toe in bounds. And now an offensive foul called against Koulibaly. That is the first on Aisha, who is from Mali. She's played on the national teams there in that African nation. Very bright future ahead for her, just a sophomore. Boy, Lotman's life has been miserable so far today.
Well, Auburn's getting physical with her, and she's allowing herself to get displaced instead of establishing that low post position.
Well, that's got to be another charge, and it is.
Well, you know it's bad when the offensive player agrees with the call. Their love trying to create something, and who else but Jayla Jordan with the rotation gets that foot just outside of the restricted arc and draws the charge.
So Aaliyah Love has 2 personal fouls and sits down. Georgia Tech has been stuck on 6 points for a long time. Tech has gone almost 10 minutes without scoring. Not even a free throw. Lottanen can't. And now a foul after the fact against Auburn.
Well, I love that Lotman's trying to get to the rim and convert some what we call easier shots. But I'll say this again, now they are 3 for 11 on layup to this point in the game. I am shocked by that.
2 fouls on Koulibaly. Stratmana finally ends the drought. About 10 minutes without a point going back to the first quarter. Scott Grayson, she's the biggest offensive threat. Takes the shot over Lottanen. Good rebound. Boy, Koulibaly, even with 2 personals, coming in very aggressively and draws the foul, trying to get the board on Bates.
Just such a great athlete. Pursued that rebound, just so quick off the floor. And it's a matchup zone. Some people will be like, oh, it's a zone, it's hard to rebound. No, it's a matchup zone. So you have a matchup. That time Sarah Bates doesn't find the player and put the body in them until it's too late.
And Koulibaly sits down with the 2 fouls. Jayla Jordan also out of the game. Zaria Wiggins, number 1, the Mississippi State transfer, checking in for the Tigers. Scott Grayson bottled up, got the shot off anyway. Hermosa boards it. Hermosa on the other end. Ball goes out to Auburn. Georgia Tech just 4 of 16 from the floor in this game. You don't have to go to Tech, right, to know that's 25% and not good.
Well, that's your IQ, Pam. I would have got
25, yes, you're right.
But Georgia Tech knows they've got to change this up, so they're extending into a 2-2-1, just trying to get Auburn out of any kind of offensive flow that they've established.
Ronce Carter, number 15 in white, checking in for Georgia Tech in the last whistle. Bates. Check that, Annie Hughes, pardon me, who nailed the 3, extends the lead to 24-8. Carter, who just checked in, jacks one up, and an offensive board by Lottanen. And we're about to have the first free throws of the game for Tech.
Well, Annie Hughes gets this 3 because Honesty Scott Grayson makes the extra pass. The forward came to Honesty Scott Grayson. She read it, had Annie Hughes spotting up in the corner for 3.
Kaye White has just picked up her 3rd personal foul for Auburn. As Lottman heads to the free throw line where she is 5 for 5 in this young season. 5 for 6 in this young season.
I blame you.
Always. Numbers down for her early on here.
When you wonder if that's a byproduct, not having Fletcher on the floor, not having, again, playmakers on the floor as Georgia Tech calls timeout.
That's right, Kara Fletcher out for the whole season after foot surgery. That is a huge vacuum for Georgia Tech. They're down 15 as we take a break. Welcome back to Georgia Tech, where Auburn has a 15-point lead. Pam Ward along with Christy Thomas-Scuddy joining you here. Auburn broke a 17-game losing streak that extended back to last season in their last game against Alabama State. And I think a lot of people, if you're tuning in right now, you're looking at this score and going, what?
I'm saying what? Again, we talked about in the open, whose style would take hold today? And so far it's been Auburn. Auburn defense speeding Georgia Tech up in the half court, disrupting them. They have not been able to get into their sets in the half court, missing layups. But one major part from the offensive end, besides making shots, Auburn's taking good care of the ball. Only 2 turnovers, and I will say this again, that has been the Achilles heel of the Tigers to this point in the early season.
But so far, they have turned the tables on Tech, and let me correct myself, the win against Alabama State stepped to 19-game losing streak that went back to last year for this Auburn team that did not win a single game in the SEC. But boy, Johnny Harris and her staff coming up with a game plan, and boy, it's so nice to see Johnny Harris finally get an opportunity to coach, to be a head coach after so many seasons as a top flight assistant. 16 years, Arkansas, Texas A&M, and Mississippi State first for the legendary Gary Blair, and the assistant on that staff, Vic Schaefer. Johnny followed Vic to Mississippi State and to Texas. And boy, this is, I don't even think she could have imagined that this would be what would be happening at this point.
Well, it's fitting that Johnny Harris gets her first head coaching job in the SEC. A lifer in the SEC. Obviously, with Texas going back to the SEC, very much true.
Yeah, gosh.
But, you know, talking to the coaches, I agree with you, Pam. I don't think they expected this. I think they've known what the potential of this team is. They just had not put it together yet. And this is the perfect storm if you're an Auburn fan, because, storm's probably not the right word, but let's say rainbow. Because you're taking care of the ball. You're disrupting on defense. I think something to watch now is a number of their key players have picked up second and third fouls. Right. How does that affect the defensive intensity?
And Georgia Tech has already turned the ball over 10 times. Their high was 15 in their first 4 games of the season. Again, Tech coming in with wins against Central Michigan, Kennesaw State, Belmont, and East Tennessee. And that Belmont team, that's a good team they beat.
I actually was like, what were you doing scheduling them so early? Because that is how much respect I have for Belmont, a team that made it to the second round of the NCAA tournament. And let's not forget Central Michigan also made the NCAA tournament last year. So it's not like Georgia Tech has not played quality teams to this point. They have just not played a team with the defensive style that Auburn plays with yet.
There's Nell Fortner, the 3rd season for Nell, the ACC Coach of the Year last year. She took her team to the Sweet 16. There's the speed of Marshawn Bostic.
I mean, Pam, that play is this game in a nutshell. A 2-2-1 full court press by Georgia Tech, and Bostic just takes it herself coast to coast.
Yeah, we knew she was speedy. She was a terrific track athlete in high school. And she's done a really good job, right? We were concerned when Wells went out with the fouls. Lottman plowing in to Jayla Jordan.
Lottman takes it in off the bounce, and yet again, Jayla Jordan with the low post rotation to protect the rim. Again, Auburn's not that tall to get the block shot, but she moves her feet, gets there just in time.
Wow.
And right now, I think the officials are looking for it because they've already committed so many charges, Georgia Tech that is, to this point in the game.
But I think that one could have gone the other way. But Lottman now has 2 fouls. Scott Grayson, who hit a off-balance three to end the first quarter. Nails a more ho-hum one for her. Gosh, it's a 20-point lead.
And you just see the confidence of Auburn growing with each and every possession. And what I really believe is with Auburn, the defense is fueling the offensive intensity.
And this is a team that played exclusively zone, did a lot of pressing last year, then went back in the 1-2-2 zone. New defense this year, and boy, is it working. And off the bench, Carter gets the bucket. Sophomore from Norcross, Georgia. And now Auburn slowing things down. And Auburn was up 8 when Wells went out with 2 fouls, and they have just built on that lead. There's a travel.
Just a young mistake by Bostic. Just doesn't get her feet set as she's trying to create off the bounce. But for Auburn, it's good because it's a dead ball turnover, allowing them to get back and get their defense solid.
Very quick, very fast, but a little raw, getting some quality minutes here. Bostic, the freshman, there's another mistake. Picking up that foul. It's just the first on Bostic. She ran a 200 in high school at 25.03 seconds.
I think I'd still be running at this point.
That's fast. And she's showing it on the basketball court as well. They try to get another charge, and they do. Yeah, you're right, Christy. That's part of the game plan now, isn't it?
They are protecting paint. They are moving their feet. And this is where, again, feet may not be set, but Carter drops that shoulder, gets called for the charge.
Scott Grayson the other way, loses the ball. Stratmana gets it over to Lottinen. We haven't seen Kubai for a while. She's been on the bench with a couple of fouls. Lottinen, tough shot, rolls out. And now a foul on the follow after the offensive rebound by Juan Aranez.
Well, man, at this point with this lineup, I want to see Digna Stratmana get a touch on offense.
Yeah.
That time, no touch. She's staying around the perimeter. She's your best offensive punch right now on the floor.
Aranez goes to the free throw line, a junior from Spain. You know, Thanksgiving is next Thursday. How about that? Thanksgiving weekend coming up, Christy. How about this? We got lots of stuff, including men's basketball, Lehigh and Virginia, 7 Eastern on Friday in beautiful Charlottesville, right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app, where we say,
one app, one tap.
There you go.
Damn, I gotta start making some pies.
Plural?
You can't just have one pie at Thanksgiving.
Oh, that's what we're talking about.
Pecan pie, pumpkin pie.
How about sweet potato?
Sweet potato casserole.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Another broadcast, Pam, and my Southern is coming out yet again.
I think we got a little Alabama accent creeping in. So there's Stratmana with the ball, part of that mass exodus from Syracuse. And she was a person who, when she played for Syracuse, hurt Georgia Tech a lot. And we asked Nell Fortner if she was on her radar. She said when she hit the transfer portal, she said, heck yeah.
Well, anyone who's watched Diggy play knows that she's so skilled. And Nell says she's just elevated her program. Just a fun young lady to coach, works hard. And again, another young lady, especially on the offensive end, I think it's only going to get better as the season progresses, as Jayla Jordan just gets better with each and every trip down the floor.
Boy, Jordan has been terrific off the bench. Just her first basket, but has drawn charges, has played great defense. Carter able to get away from Scott Grayson, who tried for the steal, and then could not corral the rebound. Coming up tomorrow night, there's a college basketball doubleheader, Charleston Southern and Georgia Tech men at 7 Eastern. Then follow that with this as Coach K and number 7 Duke host the Citadel at Cameron Indoor. Both games right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. One half, one tap. Oh my goodness, Georgia Tech down. It's a palindromic score, 31-13. Johnny Harris's team coming out playing terrific defense. Tech just hitting 24% from the floor. This was one of the storylines coming in. This was the team. Johnny Harris's team couldn't hold on to the ball, and they flipped the script today.
Well, it's amazing how you get opportunities to score when you take care of the ball, and that's what Auburn is finding today. They've done a great job taking care of the ball without their starting point guard on the floor, and that's allowed them to truly slow down and execute in the half court. Meanwhile, on the other side, it's not so much the turnovers, actually I should say it is the turnovers by Georgia Tech on top of just so many missed point-blank looks at the rim. But Pam, I'll take it a step further. It's no offensive flow because Auburn does not allow Georgia Tech to get into any kind of offense. They are up and in you as far as the point guard bringing it up, and then they are denying one pass away, so there is no offensive flow for Georgia Tech.
And that is something that Georgia Tech relies on, to say the least. 2:17 left to go in the first half. Johnny Harris, fresh off her first collegiate win as a head coach against Alabama State, going after bigger game today in number 18, Georgia Tech. And Scott Grayson's always ready to pull the trigger. Inside. Jordan off balance.
Well, I heard Johnny Harris just say, you don't have to shoot it, just because you're there.
Good advice, right, former coach?
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes there's a reason you're open.
Oh, Hermosa, nice. Nerea Hermosa has just scored her first points of the game, and she's their leading scorer this season. Hermosa and Kubai would have a big influence for Tech today, but so far that is not the case. Kubai's been on the bench with 2 fouls for quite a while. Kubai 0 for 2 from the floor. Hermosa 1 for 5. Jordan called for the foul, her second.
Well, if you're Georgia Tech, obviously it's been a very frustrating half, but with a little over a minute to go, now it's about gaining some momentum. So you got a score a moment ago, you just got to stop. Now can you convert some free throws and just continue on this roll going into the half?
Carter at the free throw line. Quadruple header of volleyball and basketball coming your way the day before Thanksgiving. That's Wednesday. Women's matches at 3 and 5 Eastern. Then featured college men's game in Jacksonville. Classic. It's Florida State and BU. Wednesday, 7 Eastern time. Thanksgiving is not just for football now, right? Basketball.
You're talking to a former coach. It's always basketball.
Bostic trying to get it in. They get a kick against Georgia Tech.
What do you think about a size 13?
That's a nice kick. And it takes the shot clock from 14 back up to 20 with 1:02 left to go. Auburn shooting 50% from the floor, including 4 of 8 from 3.
And they only averaged 4 makes a game, period, on the season. But I love the patience.
Yeah.
They've been selfless. They've worked to get the best shot each trip down.
Scott Grayson just a touch too strong on that 3 attempt. Lotman running in to blue jerseys no matter where she turns. Left open for 3, long distance 3. Hit the deck, no foul called out on the perimeter. Here's the speed of Bostic.
The speed on full display because Bates tried to rotate and take the charge and she couldn't even get there and she was already back. Great job by Bostic.
I think she would have needed something with the motor on it to get down there quicker than Bostic. Shot clock is off. Inside 10 seconds left to go in the half. Here's Lotman. Found a little bit of room, and that kind of sums up the half it has been for Georgia Tech, down 33-16 to Auburn. Johnny Harris and Bob Starkey, their coaching strategy so far, so good, working here in Atlanta. Welcome back to Atlanta. Auburn with a 17-point lead over Georgia Tech. That program looking for its first win on the road against a ranked opponent since February of 2014 when they went to Nashville and beat Vanderbilt. Johnny Harris, we're looking at her, the first-year head coach. A very impressive first half. Pam Ward, Christy Thomascutti joining you as Auburn, a team that had a 19-game losing streak snapped against Alabama State, or they did snap it in their last game, and they just pick up where they left off. Coulibaly.
Great set against the 2-3 matchup zone, overloads the middle, and Coulibaly's doing this all game long, just finishing.
Auburn outscoring Georgia Tech by 6 now in the paint. Hermosa misses another one. I think Georgia Tech fans are going to look at a shot chart after this game and just cry of all the shots they've had, really not just in the paint, but close to the basket that they've missed.
6 of 17 to be precise.
There we go. Precision is good.
Thanks for the assist.
Yeah, Wells back in the game. Sat out. Sanaya Wells, their starting point guard, went out with a couple of fouls with their team up 8, and they just built on the lead. Strotman with the miss, getting the start today. This Georgia Tech team down Loyal McQueen, who left a couple of games ago and has entered the transfer portal. And Kiara Fletcher, boy, I think they're really missing Kiara Fletcher, a great all-around player from Warren, Michigan, who scored her 1,000th point last year. Hurt her foot last year, had surgery this year, and she's out for the whole year. Boy, could they use her today.
Well, shooters need playmakers, and because that just pulls defenses and opens up looks, as well as gives you some defensive looks. But right now, honestly, Scott Grayson, you give her a second, and she's on fire here today from 3.
4 of 6 from 3 for Scott Grayson. This is a team that was hitting only 29% of their threes coming into this game. Another miss in the paint, but Love got fouled.
Well, against the 2-3 matchup, Auburn just pulls the low side forward and makes the extra pass to the corner yet again. That's why, honestly, Scott Grayson was so open for the 3, and the bench is loving it.
Scott Grayson with back-to-back double-doubles coming into this game, has 15 points, 5 of 9 overall. Here is Love at the free throw line. Boy, they're just 4 of 9 from the line. They can't hit anything today.
Well, just you see how the frustration level, because this is a team that obviously can make free throws. They're so out of sorts. Now going to a full court man defense.
He's trying to create something. Lotman getting in front of Wells. He's able to get away from her. Loretta Kubai did not score in the first half. Got into foul trouble herself for Georgia Tech.
You see Tech switching around the perimeter on defense, just trying to keep Auburn out of the paint.
Coulibaly fumbled it, and now Lotman comes away with it, and the foul called on Auburn. And that is 3 on Jayla Jordan, who had a really good first half for Auburn. Only scored 2 points, but really was effective defensively, and she will be replaced at the next whistle. There we go. Paint points for Hermosa.
Well, and that's Georgia Tech in a nutshell. I mean, their offense is beautiful when they execute, and that was one of the few times where they've really been able to get into their set.
Oh my, Kubai just picked up her 3rd foul.
Well, a screen on the ball action, and because Sanaya Wells goes over and there's a hard hedge, that allows Kubai to roll untouched and without the rotation. Way too easy for Georgia Tech.
Kubai with 3 personal fouls. Love has 3 personal fouls for Tech. Kubai and Love both out there. You saw Kubai put her hand up to the Tech bench saying, "Don't take me out," and Nell Fortner is not.
Well, and that's the advantage of fifth-year players. There's mutual trust between player and coach, and now you're seeing 2 conversions at the basket, back-to-back for Georgia Tech. And this had to be discussed at halftime. If they're going to overplay and deny, you've got to go back door. And Stropman, I could just see over the defense, feeds love at the basket for the and one.
Kaye White, who just came in for Jordan because Jordan picked up her 3rd foul, while Kaye has just picked up her 4th. So she comes out very quickly. Love at the free throw line. One of 3 from the line this afternoon for Love.
You've seen the dribble drive offense of Auburn, trying to get in the paint.
Lottman to Love, too far.
Well, Pam, already one adjustment I see from Georgia Tech is obviously the full court pressure, but also the pace on offense. They're getting the rebounds now, and they're looking to push tempo. In the first half, I felt like they walked it up almost every trip, make or miss.
Yeah, Lawton has really tried to bother Wells. Paris Mullins, number 15 in blue, checking in for Auburn with some of their bigs in foul trouble. Hughes with the miss. Underneath, Kubai finally scores.
And Pam, coming in today, I thought the post-to-post action was going to be huge for Georgia Tech. That's the first time we've had a post-to-post action.
7-0 Georgia Tech run. They've hit their last 3 shots to get to within 15.
And who else? Coulibaly to the rim for 2.
Ends the scoring drought for Auburn. Another post-to-poster, Hermosa to Kubai.
And Georgia Tech now making the extra pass. Mullins not quick enough to rotate down to prevent that easy 2.
Part of the strength for this Georgia Tech offense. Yeah, Sanaya Wells just looked over at Johnny Harris and said, huh? Because she couldn't hear what she said. Had her repeat it. Coulibaly against Kubai. I'm surprised she didn't attack her because Kubai's out there playing with 3 fouls. No foul called on that play. And the ball goes over to Tech.
Well, again, it's the selfish play of Georgia Tech. Came into today averaging 19 assists a game, only 6. And it's just beautiful basketball when the ball is being moved. And so far, we're already seeing better execution in the half court by Georgia Tech.
And much better showing in this 3rd quarter.
And you see in the slips, when they're denying, they're going back door for those looks.
Hermosa gets the Kubai miss. Love converts. This is more the Georgia Tech team you expected to see. But they need to stop Auburn on this end.
And so, Pam, for an inexperienced team under Johnny Harris, now that Georgia Tech's making a run, how does it affect them? And does the experience of Georgia Tech come into play here the rest of this half?
Good point. This Georgia Tech team going all the way to the Sweet 16. Lawton, Kubai, Hermosa, big part of that. Tipped out, stays with Tech with 13 to shoot. When we come back, Georgia Tech and Kubai making a run.
Welcome back to McCamish Pavilion, where it was all Auburn in the first half, but it has been Georgia Tech here in the 3rd quarter. Why? They've been able to get into their offense, allowing them to get ball reversals and exploit their size advantage. They've been selfless with the extra passes. They've moved the ball 8 points in the paint to this point in the third quarter alone.
And Kubai coming up with 4 points after not scoring in the first half at all. And there you see the assist to turnover ratio helping on this 11-2 run. Aaliyah Love with 5 of those 11 points. Kubai with 4. They were down by as many as 22 points in this game. Here's Kubai playing with 3 fouls. Beautiful.
And that's what we expected to see from Lorella Kubai this afternoon. First half taken out of it with some physical play as well as the foul trouble. Now she's settled in, but I'll go back to it. It is because they have been able to get that first pass in the offense, and from there they've been able to execute.
And Scott Grayson shuffled her feet. You see, no, Fortner. No, yeah, cheering her team on.
Yeah, tell 2 halves, Pam. It was no in the first half.
No.
Now we're getting some yeah.
Long 3, just a bit strong for Bates. Bates has not scored. Here she is on defense.
And I love that pursuit by Bates. She got beat in the open floor and hustled back to the paint to get that turnover.
Kubai, a little no-looker over to Hermosa. Marshawn Bostic back in the game, the freshman who came in and ran the point when Wells got into foul trouble in the first half and did a wonderful job. She's really fast. Erratic shot though that time. Still working on her decision making as a true freshman. Bates, other side, bingo.
A missed layup on one end will lead to a run out on the other. 3-point and timeout quickly by Johnny Harris.
A 22-point lead has evaporated down to 8.
Sarah Bates sprints the floor, spots up, knocks it down, cutting the lead to 8.
Welcome back to the ACC Network, where Nell Fortner's team has come out in the third quarter looking like a different ball club. They are on a 16-2 run since they trailed by 22 big points.
Well, I feel like Auburn's a team that gets their mojo on the defensive end, and it helped them be really efficient offensively in the first half. On the flip side, I feel like Georgia Tech's a team that gets their mojo from their offense, and we've seen them now score and then get stops on the defensive end. To this point, I'm eager to see what Johnny Harris has drawn up out of the timeout, because they just need a 2-point bucket to get themselves back on defense and get solid.
Now, Auburn, a team coming off a win against Alabama State. Played so well in the first half and now trying to weather this run from a team that went to the Sweet 16 last year. Wells back in the game. Junior point guard who was a 2-guard her first 2 seasons. Shot clock getting really skinny.
And the chess match between coaches. Nell Fortner leaves the 2-3 zone out of that timeout and goes man for the 1 possession.
Wattonen cut off by Wells. Here's Kubai playing with 3 fouls. Nice pass to Lottman from Kubai, who for a post player is a terrific passer.
Well, I was about to say Kubai missed Hermosa down low with a step up, but who needs it when your point guard cuts back door for the layup?
Down to 6.
Honestly, Scott Grayson's got to get a touch here.
Missed everything, but the follow goes in.
Lottman got caught not boxing out Coulibaly, and Coulibaly was in the right place, right time for the offensive rebound and putback.
Coulibaly now with 5 rebounds and 10 points. Lottman with the screen from Hermosa. Bates hit one from out there just a couple of minutes ago. That one just a little bit too strong.
And Auburn is the faster team, but unless it's a breakaway off a steal, Johnny Harris is slowing her team down, looking to work the shot clock.
Jayla Jordan was out of position. They just got her where she needed to be. Now she's setting the screen for Coulibaly, working against Kubai. Kubai got to be careful. Shot clock violation. Good defense by Georgia Tech.
I love the move by Coulibaly because Georgia Tech just walling up because of the foul trouble. And yet, so she tries to step through and by, just couldn't get that one to fall.
The fourth turnover for Auburn this quarter. They only had 4. That matches their entire total in the first half. Kubai using her body to get around, and then Hermosa was able to get the offensive rebound. Gosh, Jordan has picked up her 4th.
Jordan's an aggressive defender, and she's used to playing with fouls. She did this in the win against Alabama State earlier this week, so it's huge. And Pam, one thing I'm noticing is you talked about the emotions that Lorela Kubai plays with. First half really within herself, now very demonstrative, very engaged with her teammates.
Picked up those couple of fouls. We saw her showing frustration even before that when the offense was being disrupted by Auburn. Now getting more into a flow. Very emotional player. And as her career has gone on, has channeled that more in positive directions. Nell Fortner loves coaching her, but says it can be, just got to navigate some things, as you do with most players. That's nice on the baseline. Jordan with the finish to get the lead back up to 9. Time running out, and then Lotman, gosh, got fouled out on the perimeter by Coulibaly. That is the 3rd on her. Scott Grayson trying to get an explanation from an official. Lotman going to the free throw line. Lotman gets them both. Here comes Wells. Desperation over Kubai. And Auburn at one time up 22. Take a 7-point lead into the 4th quarter. That is a family member of Riley Donahue, who is a walk-on for Auburn, who is from Atlanta, and that woman has more energy than maybe anybody in the building.
I've been jealous of her this entire game. She was screaming before the game even started. So Riley, kudos that you've got the best fans in the house here this evening.
Kubai left that one short. Auburn about 115 miles from Georgia Tech and all interstate, so quite a few fans have made the trip. And the first time these two programs have played since 1997. They often will do pre-season scrimmages, but this is the first game that counts since '97.
Well, I think it's a great test for both these teams because of the contrasting styles. And Kubai just picked up her 4th foul.
Wow, that is huge. Kubai's going to come out. Hermosa comes in. Kubai played quite a bit of time in the 3rd quarter after picking up her 3rd foul. Auburn doing a good job of drawing an early one here in the 4th quarter. Pam Ward, Christy Thomas Gutty joining you on this Sunday evening now in Atlanta. Number 18 and unbeaten Georgia Tech losing Friday tip-off Thanksgiving weekend with our college hoops matchup. Virginia hosting Lehigh in Charlottesville. That's men's basketball, 7 Eastern, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Couple of free throws by Coulibaly.
I talk about the importance of point guard play all the time, but for Georgia Tech, and I say this with respect when I call Kubai a point forward, because the offense goes through her because she sees the floor so well. So eager to see how Georgia Tech responds with her on the bench.
And that might be Jayla Jordan's 5th foul, coming over trying to block Bates, and it is.
Bates, known for being a spot-up three-point shooter, blows by Annie Hughes, which forces the rotation by Jordan and definitely gets her with the body. And officials coming over to Johnny Harris right now to say that's 5.
Jayla Jordan, who played her freshman year at West Virginia, goes out, and she gets a good hand from the Auburn fans, and she should. You're going to look at her line and say, wow, she fouled out with just 3 rebounds and 4 points, but she made a big difference on defense, particularly in the first half.
Not everything shows up in a stat sheet, and I think her rotations where she drew the charges really affected the offensive execution, made the Georgia Tech players tentative to get to the rim in that first half.
Bates gets the free throw, and Auburn drew 4 charges in the first half. I don't think they've drawn any here in the second, right?
They have not, but a lot of that has been the execution of Georgia Tech. They haven't put their head down trying to create. They've allowed the offense to work together to create easy scoring opportunities.
Scott Grayson has had a quiet second half. His 3 points since the break, had 12 in the first half. Again, no Kubai on the floor. Mosa with the nice turn. Stratman tried to hustle to get it, but they say it's off her. And Auburn's basketball.
This is where the bigs for Georgia Tech, I would love for them to get 2 feet in the paint and not settle for the fadeaways. There, I think Georgia Tech has an argument that it was off the Auburn player, not off Stratman.
So a break for Auburn. Wells finding some open space. A good rebound by White.
And that's where Hermosa's got to leave her feet and go for that rebound. White just outworked her to get that second chance for Auburn.
Wells good look inside, but Georgia Tech up to the task.
And that time Hermosa did leave her feet for the block.
And it works. Hermosa, nice roll to the basket. Nobody picked her up. Give the assist to Lottinen.
And Lottinen attacked off the on-ball screen far enough to pull the post, which is why Hermosa was open on that roll.
6 points is as close as Tech has gotten after falling behind by 22. That's a foul on Stratman.
All comes down to offensive execution for Georgia Tech. Screen on the ball, and it's never the 2 players involved with the screen on the ball that makes solid defense. It's the weak side. That time, Auburn, no rotation. Easy 2 points for Georgia Tech.
Scott Grayson at the line. Georgia Tech has shot 17 free throws, but only made 9 of them. That hurts. It's just the 5th free throw taken by Auburn. We talked about Honesty's difference in the second half. The Baylor transfer does deliver at the line. And how about Kubai coming back in with 4 fouls? What do you think?
I think a coach knows her player. And I think the competitiveness, and Kubai was probably over there hounding Nell Fortner this entire time, like, put me in.
Yeah, maybe she put her in just to shut her up. But you're right, Kubai, with all that experience and the trust from Nell Fortner and her staff that she won't pick up the 5th one. They're down 8. They need to do something with 7 to go. Love, little nifty move, but missed wide right. Auburn ball.
And so does Auburn try to go at Kubai now on the defensive end.
Timeout taken by Nell Fortner. Her Auburn Tigers down 8 with just under 7 to go in the 4th quarter. Can Auburn pull off a big upset? Back at Georgia Tech, where Lorella Kubai coming back on the floor with 4 personal fouls. The co-defensive player of the year last year, averaged a double-double. Different story today, Christy, in part because of the foul trouble.
Well, here's the bottom line. The best players are going to be scouted. and you're going to be the focus of the defensive game plan. And credit Auburn for coming out, getting physical with her, denying entry passes so that Georgia Tech couldn't get into their offensive sets. And to this point, Kubai's been kept in check. Again, still a lot of ball to play, and I do believe Georgia Tech needs her. Might not be her scoring, but can she set her teammates up to score as well?
Auburn is led by as many as 22, led by 17 at the half. Now an 8-point ball game. Hughes, nicely executed.
And that's the growth of Annie Hughes from a year ago. Known as a spot-up three-point shooter, now really looking to get aggressive off the bounce. Huge bucket for Auburn.
Yeah, Johnny Harris wanting her to be more of an offensive threat, not just with the three ball. And that's a big because it gets it back to double digits. Shot clock into single digits now for Lautinen. Has to fire one up and got it! Wow, that's only the second three that Tech has made today, and it was a big one. And a contested one at that. Crowd at McCamish yelling for defense, needing stops.
If I'm Coulibaly right now, I go right at Kubai.
Coulibaly playing with 3 fouls, Kubai with 4. Shot clock dying. Mimosa couldn't handle it, but Tech comes up with it.
So if you're going to exploit the size and look for those slips, spacing's got to be better. The last couple of trips, the spacing by Georgia Tech's been poor, and Auburn's just been able to sit in the paint.
Love throws it away. It's Hughes. But Bates, good hustle by Sarah Bates to stop the breakaway.
Hey, young players out there, watch. The play is never over. This should have been a sure two for Auburn. Great job by Annie Hughes to shoot the gap, but Bates stays in the play, uses her quickness to get ahead of the ball and knock it out of bounds.
Just stuck her hands in there, didn't hack down on it. Aisha Coulibaly, everyone. She's a good ball player.
I love that she's playing within herself. Not trying to be bigger, but using head fakes to get the bigger defenders up in the air and then shooting around and over.
Lautinen trying for another three. That one's just a little bit too strong. Wells being bothered by Love, who fouls her. So Aaliyah Love picks up her 4th, so both Love and Kubai out on the floor for Tech with 4. Scott Grayson, guarded by Lautinen, who backed away, trying to get a charge call. Lautinen draws contact, puts it up and in.
Well, one adjustment Auburn has made since the last time out is they're not coming out on the on-ball screens. They're leaving their post in, and that time Lautinen turned the corner and challenged the post and got it to go.
Lautinen, the only yellow jacket in double figures, now has a dozen. Inside 4 minutes, Wells, nice crossover. Coulibaly drives on Kubai, who stuck her hand in there. The bucket is good.
Kaye White, right place, right time.
Lautinen gets it to Hermosa.
The key now for Georgia Tech, now Fortner calls timeout, is they've got to get up and not allow Auburn to milk these shot clocks down because they are down 7, or they've got to make sure they're getting stops and going to score.
Georgia Tech outscored Auburn by 10 in the 3rd quarter, but they're even here in the 4th. Nell Fortner used to coach at Auburn, was there for 8 years, and did a good job. Took him to a couple of NCAA tournaments. That's pretty good, right? Was the SEC Coach of the Year, and then came and worked for ESPN for a while. and got back into coaching at Georgia Tech, where last year she was the ACC Coach of the Year, was the Big Ten Coach of the Year when she was at Purdue.
Left Purdue to, go win a gold medal.
Yeah, and won a gold medal. But there's baby Nell, who kind of looks the same as current day Nell.
She looks the same. She is not aged. Coaching aged me. Coaching makes Nell younger.
Yeah.
But, hats off, because she wins everywhere she goes. And you see why. Her players love playing for her. She's definitely a player's coach, responds to them, knows how to get the most out of them, a positive leader for these young women.
Coach Dewana Bonner, who has had an amazing career in the WNBA.
I feel like you should have stretched amazing out a little bit longer to do that justice.
Yeah. Again, the shot clock winding down. Kubai, gotta be careful. She's got 4. And a kick by Hermosa. Gosh, that's a good break for Tech, because for Auburn, because it took the shot clock from 5 back to 20. Coming up, our featured college hoops game after some volleyball for you on Wednesday. Yep, Boston University taking on Florida State. Check it out on ESPN app and the ACC network on Thanksgiving Eve, when Christy will be making multiple pies.
Got apple. Got to throw the apple.
Wouldn't mind if you throw one my way one day, but whatever.
My pies aren't that good, so throwing it could
come on now.
be harmful. Sanaya Wells just trying to pick that foul up on Kubai, and some nifty ball handling there on the floor and then back up.
Kubai playing with 4, shot clock. That might have been a backbreaker if Wells could have gotten that to go. Big offensive rebound. Auburn continuing to hustle. That was Scott Grayson.
You make your breaks with extra effort, and that is something. Auburn hasn't played exactly clean today, but the effort has been solid throughout. And Coulibaly, yet again, off the bounce, drawing the foul. Shot clock's running down. Coulibaly trying to create, goes right at Hermosa and draws the foul, I think from Love.
Yep, Aaliyah Love has just fouled out for Georgia Tech. 7 points, 5 rebounds. A bone bruise, not 100%. Got hurt against East Tennessee, which was their last game. The advantage is 7. Stropmano looking for help. Wells is all over Lotman, as she has been all game long. Hermosa, nice turn, nice result. 5-point lead. It's the lowest it has been since
the first quarter.
The first quarter, thank you. Because Auburn led 19-6 after 1. Wells able to dribble out of trouble. Scott Grayson with the shot clock winding down, and an offensive foul has been called.
Sarah Bates has been so active on the defensive end. They're probably sold it more than it should have been an actual charge call.
Second one on Scott Grayson, and now Tech can cut it to a 1-possession game. Now a foul on Coulibaly, who is trying to stop Kubai's progress. That's 4 on Aisha.
Well, if you're Auburn right now, as difficult it has been for Georgia Tech to get into a flow offensively, don't put them at the free throw line.
Lotman slicing into the paint, but lost it. Coulibaly working against Kubai. It's Georgia Tech basketball.
That's one of those I'm sure Johnny Harris would have loved Coulibaly just to pull out, work the clock. And on the previous possession by Georgia Tech, it was Hermosa who basically forced the turnover because she was running to the lane as Lockman was trying to create.
1 minute to go in the fourth. Kubai, nope, but gets the miss. Bates, Hermosa wide open, missed it. Good look on the baseline, and now Johnny Harris calling over Wells to take a timeout. Oh, a foul, pardon me, was called before the timeout was taken on Bates. And Wells heads to the free throw line where she can all but ice this game. Tomorrow night, a college basketball doubleheader that finishes up with Duke and the Citadel men's basketball at Cameron Indoor, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. One time. Wells got them both.
Makes it a 3-possession game now. And with Georgia Tech with only the one timeout, they need to go. Try to get something at the rim quickly here.
Bates attacks the rim and got fouled by Annie Hughes. And this is an Auburn team that last year only won 5 games. 0-15 in the SEC, had a 19-game losing streak snapped in their last game when they beat Alabama State. And they have the number 18 team in the country on the ropes.
And this is why Johnny Harris was hired, to change the culture and change the style. And you're seeing this with the full court pressure, how disruptive they were today. Now the key is, can they hold on for the last 30 seconds?
Tech trying to foul, didn't get to Wells, they do not. Now Bates finally gets a hold of Wells. And it sends Sanaya Wells back to the free throw line. She's from Moss Point, Mississippi. Only had 1 start last year, averaged 3.5 points per game as a 2 guard, now running the point. She's been big at the line. Hits 2 more, and the Auburn players and the fans behind us are starting to feel it.
Well, for a team that hasn't had recent success, I've been impressed because Georgia Tech stormed back, cut the lead to single digits, and Auburn has had an answer. They have made free throws down the stretch, and I have to say this again, they've taken care of the ball for the most part throughout this game, and this defense has just been stifling. For Georgia Tech, they're out of timeouts now, so a quick score here, and they've got to hope that Auburn misses some free throws down the stretch.
Georgia Tech, 37% from the floor, much better here in the second half, but it was the defense of Auburn in the first half. Bob Starkey orchestrating it. I tell you, I was at shoot-around earlier today, and let's just say that they didn't seem as buttoned up as when they came out. They were trying to get Bob Starkey, trying to get his team in the right position. But whatever happened between shoot-around and game time, that was magic time, because when they came out here in this game, they were great.
Well, coaching never ends. It's not just during shoot-around. It is all about the mental upkeep framework that you're getting your team into prior to tip. And again, not all is lost for Georgia Tech. This is a style of play that they need to see at some point. Now they have film, they can grow, they can learn. And for Auburn, you hope this is the first of many more for them.
A rebound for Auburn and another foul. And the Auburn Tigers, under 18 seconds away from pulling off an upset. They have not beaten a ranked team on the road since February of 2014. Scott Grayson, back-to-back double-doubles for her. That will be snapped today, but she's got 17 points, including 4 threes. Koulibaly joining her in double figures with 14 points. They have held Lorella Kubai to just 6 points on 3 of 10 shooting. Stratmanov just 4 points. Depending on her to being an offensive threat, the Syracuse transfer. And the Auburn Tigers, they're going to have themselves a fun 115-mile bus trip back to the Plains. They have pulled off the upset, winning at Georgia Tech.
Well, I think the best lesson that Johnny Harris has learned about her team today is that defense travels. It was suffocating from the tip, disruptive, took Georgia Tech out of it completely in the first half. And if you're a Yellow Jacket fan, unfortunately, it was just too big of a deficit to dig out of here in the second half.